I have been a hypocrite on some things. You call me out about it
all the time.
And once again, all the time. Once again, I've said this before, but I had a conversation with my buddy today, and I don't know how I made it through life without an iPhone. My God.
It's great.
I was an Android for so long. Like, this dude was like, how do you, it was Roy. He's like, how you take the video and do this and that? And I was like, I
will admit, I mean, look, I still prefer Android. I do. But I'm not going to lie. There's a whole lot of stuff with the iPhone that just comes like just quick, ready-made. Android has a lot more customization. But I'm going to say this. I did not know the level of discrimination that came with the text messaging until I started text messaging with my iPhone and died. Like, text messaging to an Android phone, it's like you're talking to a robot. Like, they don't even have emotions. It's like your message, ha ha ha. Like, it's odd. I don't like it.
It's terrible.
I don't like it.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how you can be a creative person and do anything in the creative sphere and have an Android. I'm like, bruh, I could screen record everything. Like, he's like, how do you do that? I was like, maybe you got to download a program. After a while, I was like, I can't help you. Like,
I'm not gonna knock it too much because I like to plan for the future. And if Google or somebody ever sees this in the future, just know that half of, in my humble opinion, supports Android and is willing to advertise for them, you know? And if Apple sees this, also know that same half is willing to support and advertise for you as well. I go where the money goes. I have no loyalty. So that's fine. That's fine. I just want them to know.
Wow. Just like a nigga, because he's black and ugly as ever. Whenever I stay used to down to my side. It's your boy, Chips Ahoy. Avery, like a very nice guy, also known as Carlton Banks, also known as Avery Zadius. Why Zadius? Because you can call me Zaddy for short. No, don't do that. That is a corny-ass joke. Anyway, we're back with another In My Humble Opinion podcast. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm here with my co-host, my blood brother, same father, same mother, Just Devon, rocking the baldy.
That's me. How you doing?
What's happening?
I'm good. I'm good.
How your lip doing?
It's fine. I busted it a little bit. That's a whole nother story. But
whole nother story.
You know, it happened. It happened.
I whooped his ass.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. If people want to believe that, people believe anything on the internet. So.
People believe in it. Why do you think I'm spreading this shit?
That's all right. You're not gonna trump me. You're not gonna make up stuff and then just make it a part of the internet. So go ahead.
Anyway. Yeah. Wow. So we have a special guest with us today. All our guests are special. But we have a especially special guest with us today. One that proves that if you follow your dreams, it will definitely pay off. Also, she's a singer, a songwriter, and she shares her love of music with the world. And we responded positively by saying, oh, yes, we like this. Freshly signed today, mind you, today. And she has her album in your phone right now called Late Bloom. And also, according to her Twitter, she charges $20 for advice. So.
Oh, yes, I do. And I'm not asking for too much.
Yes. Lilly Aviana. Lilly Aviana.
Hey guys, I'm Lilly.
How's it going? How's it going?
It's going, baby. You know, keeping it pushing.
We would see you I've seen you a couple of times at Bounce and Turns.
Bounce and Turn.
That was the first time we would see you, or we'd see you and Dende, or we'd see you like big fans of you, big fans of Dende. We'll go ahead. Before I even get, are you and Dende planning on ever putting out like a joint album? I know people have asked y'all that before.
Probably. I mean, you know me and Dende, you know, we always be singing together. It's just, you know, we just be doing that. So, yeah. We're actually working on something right now, so.
I know he's working on stuff. I figure he's either going to put out an album or run for Congress or both. So, yeah.
Probably.
Singing music and fighting crime, baby. That's what we do these days, to be honest. Like,
so, I mean, let's talk about now this, of course. Let's not talk about Dende. Let's talk about you, Lilly. Like, where are you from?
I was born in Corpus Christi, but I'm actually from the north side of Houston, Texas.
Now, actually, what brought you from Corpus Christi to Houston?
I mean, my parents, they moved to Houston because I guess my dad, he was like working or some shit.
Something. I don't know, but we here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much, that's usually how it works out. Okay, and then we're sitting there, you're in Houston, and you're a singer. I mean, there's just no, I mean, you listen to the music that you're putting out, especially Late Bloom. Like, we really both love Late Bloom. Tell us about like some of the music that influences your whole style. Like, what did you grow up listening to?
I grew up listening to everything. My mom, she listened to rock, funk, just everything. And so like I listened to stuff like B.B. King, Parliament, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Earth, Wind and Fire, Tina Marie, Pink Floyd, Jimi Hendrix, like all types of people. Just like so yeah, and then my sister, she was older than me, so you know, she listened to a lot of the music that we had growing up in the 90s and up to the 2000s, so like Aaliyah, Alicia Keys and stuff like that. So yeah, Erykah Badu.
And we were talking about earlier, like we would see you at things like the Bounce and Turn. You give an excellent live show. For people that are not in the know, I've also seen her selling. You were selling like vegetarian elote at at one of them. It was good. It was good. It's good stuff. Good. Like,
yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
So when we talk about like, you are definitely like, I've met you at Barron Studios. We've seen you around. Like, you're always usually involved in music in some way, shape, or form. Like, at what age were you like, you know what, this is what I want to do with my life? Like, I want to sing.
Well, ever since I was little, I knew that music was something I wanted to pursue. Like, even though it was just like, you know, when you're young, it just seems like a dream or something that you want. But I always knew I wanted to do music because I could sing ever since I could talk. And like, so yeah, even growing up, I was like in choir and, you know, all that stuff. So even if I wasn't pursuing like the music that I want to do right now, I probably would have been like a music teacher or a choir teacher or something. But, you know, that wasn't really what I wanted to do. So I pursued otherwise, and I dropped out of like college and stuff.
Hey man, you know what you wanted to do. It's all good.
I'm about to say, there are so many people that we've interviewed on the show and just artists in general that are like, yeah, I was going in and then I just had to do something else. And you know.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to learn about the Baroque era and shit like that. Like, I'm trying to see about this shit, bitch. Like,
yeah.
No.
So
but it did teach me a lot. It did teach me a lot.
Yes.
It really did. I learned a shit ton from that shit. Can I cuss?
Yeah, absolutely. We're not on the radio, so okay. You're good. You're good to go. So
well, how did your parents feel when you told them, you know what, I'm done with school?
Well, my mom, she's the one that raised us, so she was like, you know, I think you need to go back to school because like, you need a fallback plan and stuff. And I was like, well, Mama, there ain't no fallback plan because this gonna happen. Like, but of course, like I understand now, like as a parent myself, like of course you want the best for your child, but you know, sometimes you also gotta know your child and know their capability and know their abilities and know where they excel at. And then you apply that pressure in those areas so they can succeed in the best way that they can. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so that, yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean, yeah, as parents, of course, they're going to be like, yeah, parents want their child to have the easiest life.
Yeah, of course. And eventually, you know, she was real, like, not that she was skeptical about it, like she knew that I had talents, but she just didn't know that, like, although I didn't want to apply my work ethic to, you know, regular 9 to 5 or like going to school, which is perfectly fine. Like, kudos to people that go out there and you know, get their bag. But, you know, my ground was just a little bit different. And so, you know, eventually, like, when she saw that we were getting booked on shows more and shit like that, she was like, okay, I see. And going to shows and seeing people sing my songs and stuff, and like, she was like, all right, I see. I kind of see where this is going. Like, I'm so, you know, but yeah. So, but now, I mean, now she's like, okay,
yeah.
I'm like, all right.
So I mean, you talk about people going to your shows or singing your songs. You know, particularly from Late Bloom. Late Bloom resonates with a lot of people that hear it. Let's talk about Late Bloom. First of all, why is it called Late Bloom for our audience here?
Okay, so I really started making music in 2016. Because I started working at Barron Studios, and so that's when I was like, oh man, like I work here, I can start recording music now. Like I want to start doing that. So I started recording music, started popping off in the scene a little bit. They're like, ooh, Lilly Aviana, okay, bitch. And I was like, all right. So then, like, boom, life happens. You know what I'm saying? I ended up having my son, so I decided to focus my attention elsewhere. And then, like, you know, I was just like, man, I'm like kind of sad because I still want to do music and, you know, blah, 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 blah. So I was like actively working on Late Bloom in like late 2016, 2017. And, you know, I was working on it, writing it, and finding the beats for it and the, you know, the producers and whatnot. And, you know, like I finally finished all the writing for it. I got all the music together and I was ready to start, you know, the recording process. And it took me, you know, the project took me 2 years to create. And, you know, so I felt like, you know, I had put out music here and there. Like I put out like maybe 2 singles before I dropped Late Bloom and in between the time that I had dropped my first single. So, you know, I felt like since it took me this long to drop like an actual project, I wanted to make it this meaningful. So I called it Late Bloom. And then plus my name was Lily. So it was like a flower. And I was like, I really like, I'm sorry, I'm about to get all emotional and shit. I really felt like shit was gonna pop off with this album. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're all right.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I was just like, I really feel like this album's gonna pop some shit off. Like, this is gonna be the album that gets me noticed. And I was just like, all right, so let's call it Late Bloom, because I'm a little late to the party, but you know, I'm blooming now, bitch. So
yeah. You showed up and showed out.
You know what I'm saying? So we finna grind this shit out harder. So, but yeah, that's why it was called Late Bloom, because it took me a while to drop something. So,
I mean, okay, you might be being a little hard on yourself, because 2016 to like when you release, like, first of all, it's only 2020 right now.
Yeah.
Late Bloom has been out for what, a year?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you went from 20. I mean, wait, you're not that late. You're not late. You're right on time. You're right on time.
You bounce back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even when you talk about, I mean, what is, okay, so we know that I was going to say, you are able to express your emotion. So obviously you wear your heart on your sleeve. You wear that also in your music. Okay, so no, I mean, for people listening to Late Bloom, because Late Bloom sounds like, I don't know how to describe it, like a relationship that ended, but you're still cool with it, but y'all are still like, it's just great music to listen to. Like, what were you?
It's open for it's open for like,
yeah.
It's open however you want to view it, however it applies to your life. Go ahead, take it. Like,
because it's one of those things, like, if things are going well in your relationship, you can listen to it. If you just broke up, you can listen to it. Like, it goes either way.
Like I said, selfish is my ish.
It got the baby mama stuff, baby daddy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can relate to it, so it's real.
what were some of the things that were going on as you're writing this? Like, because it's just such an open piece of work. I don't want to make you cry, though.
No, I mean, obviously, you know, it's not, it wasn't just like a particular time in my life. You know, you just take situations that, you know, you've experienced or that, you know, people have experienced, and you try to apply that to real life. Because I mean, it is real life, and you know, we do feel these things, we do feel these type of ways, but you know, it's not always that easy to express that. So the best, you know, like, that's, for me, that was the best way to express myself, was through the music, through like, you know, just revisiting old scenarios and old things that had happened throughout my life, and just, you know, just poured it out there.
Now, when you talk about like Late Bloom comes out, and now, like, how are you feeling as the response to the music?
It was really good. I mean, for like on a Texas level, it was good. You know what I'm saying? So there's still a lot I could push to other places with this music. So the response that I've gotten, though, like from Texas and especially Houston, like, has been just amazing. It's been really, really like just, it's just crazy. Like, cause people be really singing my shit at shows. Like,
yes,
I'm just like, damn, like, this
yes.
shit is crazy. Like,
yes, very, very much so. You just did a concert as well, where we're talking about the online one. You were looking like, I did?
Was I drunk? I'm kidding.
I was talking about, when we're talking about the, what I was saying, that was the online concert where people really resonate with the music. Like, if I said, when we've been at Bounce and Turn, when we sing you anywhere, it's like people are really singing these songs.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, oh, no, this is like what it is. Like, what is it like, too, being in Houston as an R&B artist? Like, what are some of the pros? What are some of the cons? Like, we always ask this when we're talking to, like, I mean, we talked about with Dende, we talk about with Jack Freeman or Lenore or anybody like that. They're like, hey, man, it's Houston. Like, there are some great things, there are some bad things, but it is what it is. So from your perspective, what are some of the things that you just kind of love about it? And what are some of the things you're like, this is a thing that I got to get over?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, like, performing at most of the shows that I performed at has been really, really cool. Like, the crowd has been, you know, receptive and stuff, but there's been a couple of shows that, like, you know, like, if you're like on a hip hop lineup or like a rap lineup where it's not as receptive, you know what I mean? And that, you know, that's happened many times, and I'm just like, that's not cool. Like to me, I'm just like, if y'all are gonna come out to see people perform, like, at least be in the crowd. Damn, like, standing like 10 feet from the damn stage and shit. I'm like, what is really going on? Like, because it's different. It's not like, you know, what they're like used to, like, really going to shows to see and stuff. And I get that. So the R&B scene in Houston was kind of hard, but I feel like you really have to search for the right places. And luckily I've been able to find like amazing spots to perform, like the Living Room Social and stuff like that. Yeah. So R&B scene in Houston is definitely coming up for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And I, like, honestly, you'd be surprised. Like, once you start meeting musicians and stuff, like, it does not stop from there. Like, you meet musicians and musicians and musicians. So, like, and then you find, like, these spots where they're doing, like, these shows where they all meet up and, like, you know, they perform with, you know, just, like, open jam sessions and stuff. It's really dope.
And we hear that a lot, like, especially from the R&B artists that are like, there are a number of people. One, we're always hearing that there are a number of people out there. There are so many musicians that are out here, and they're talented. Like, you know, but it's also like the R&B scene in Houston. It's one of this kind of like unknown gem where it's like you have a lot of talent, and if somebody's name bubbles up in the R&B scene in Houston, it's like they can sing. Yeah. Like, there's just no getting around it. Like, because he's like, we got a lot of singers out here, so it's like if you're hearing Lily's name, she can sing. Like, there's no getting around. Nobody's gonna be like, oh no, well, you know, she just gets up there. They're like, no, they actually sing. So yeah, that's a credit to you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, my brother, when he was talking about in his intro, was saying like, "Hey, today was a lot of stuff has been going on with you today, and you've been talking about things for a month. Tell us about what's going on career-wise for you now."
So we're officially signed into management. So honestly, like the next step is just pushing my music harder, and I mean, I would speak on things, but I don't jinx it, so I'm just gonna keep that to myself, and y'all just gonna have to see what happens, and just gonna have to see the come up. But it's gonna be tight. Like I'm really excited for what's in store, and like I've been applying the pressure just off the muscle alone, in Houston. So having that assistance, you know what I'm saying, is really gonna push me in the places that I need to be, and that's gonna help me succeed further in my career. You know what I'm saying?
What's your management?
It's Radioactive Inc. and it's Marcus SP. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with like Tisa Korean and stuff.
Absolutely, that's
yeah.
Oh, okay. And they definitely know how to work things in an internet age. There's no getting around that. So, I mean, that's perfect. And then, speaking of internet, because I said we follow you on all your platforms. You seem very family oriented. I mean, just with the people that are around you. Like, tell us about some of the people you just like working with and who you'd want to work with in the future.
Well, already off the rip, I love working with Dende. I love working with the producers that I work with. They actually have a band, go by Indigo Young. Who else? There's a lot of people, but mainly those ones really. In the future, like big artists, or Houston artists.
Man, it can be anybody. Both. Let's start with Houston and then let's work our way around.
Houston artists, dang. Okay, I'm gonna have to come back to that one. Cause like really, I don't really even be listening to music like that. Like I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like I can tell you old ass music.
Yeah.
Whatever, but like new modern music, like I'm still barely tapping into certain, things and stuff. But so big artists, I would love to work with people like with her. I would love to work with Daniel Caesar. I would love to work with Sir. With Erykah Badu, I would love to work with her. There's like some indie bands I would like to work with. I would like to work with Tops.
No.
Shit, Meg the Stallion. Shit, so shit show. But in Houston, I do want to work with CA the Don. He's a pretty dope artist. I've listened to his music. I think Noe J is a Houston artist. I would definitely work with him.
Okay.
Cringe is another Houston artist. Jet Third. Yeah,
you were acting like you don't listen to nobody. Like you listen.
I know. I just have to. Sometimes you just gotta tap in. You know what I'm saying? Because I be forgetting stuff. Like if I'm put on the spot, I'm like, oh my god, I'm going through the files in my brain, like trying to. But yeah.
With that even said, how did you even meet Dende?
I actually met him at a show. It was at Satellite Bar. It was I think it was a Bounce and Turn event. I'm not sure, but I know it was at Satellite Bar. I heard him sing, and I was like, oh my god! And he was playing guitar, and I was like, dude, I have to work with this guy. Like he had such a powerful voice, and like I'm like real like critical of my own work. So like I'm real critical of like other people's voices and stuff, and I'm just like, dang, he can perform live. Yeah, I know he's in his music is good. Yeah, like I need to work with him.
Absolutely.
How'd you meet your band then?
It's funny because with the first time, I was like, man, cause I had performed with the band once at the Living Room Social. Shout out to Black Lotus Squad. They're fucking dope. But I had worked with them, and I was like, man, that shit was sick. Like I need a band. Like I absolutely need a band now. Like there's no going back from that. And I was like, all right. So I got on Twitter and I was like, all right, hey everyone, I need a bassist, I need a guitar player, and I need a drummer and some keys. So like eventually just people reached out and I was like, all right, I didn't even know if these people could play. I did not. I just took the hands off face and I was like, all right, y'all, we finna get it popping. Like, let's see what we can do. So like, I was like, all right, you can play the drums, blah, 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 you know, whatever. Grab these people randomly and it just worked out. I mean, if, like the two people that have really stuck with me is Brian and Eric, which is my drummer and my guitarist. And we've alternated between like bassists and keyboardists. So I'm currently looking for two people that's gonna stay. But yeah, so like it's been really dope. Like I played with a lot of amazing instrumentalists, and you know it's been real dope.
That's good.
No, that's really dope. Now, how do you? Oh wait, shoot, did I miss that? Okay, here I'm back. So when you talk about like how are you choosing, like you say you're critical of your work, so you're really critical of everything. What makes like newer artists or artists that you want to work with, what makes them stand out to you?
Their writing, the way that they can use metaphors and similes and just like be creative, you know what I'm saying? Like I love creative writing. Oh shit! No. Sorry. Don't call me. I'm sorry. But
no. It's okay. It's okay because that's actually what was happening to me just a second ago. So we're equal. So don't worry about it. Go ahead.
But yeah, just their writing capabilities, their flow, that they can sing well if it's a singer. Like, yeah, like the writing is my number one though. Like for sure.
Now, tell us about just the recent thing. This was released like 4 days ago. Sorry. Decade 2020.
4 decades.
Literally, it's like 4 decades ago.
Really? 4 decades ago. I was like, I don't think I was born. I don't think I was thought of.
Decade 2020. This was basically like a virtual concert that was out here. How do you? How did this come about?
So actually I had performed at their first show that they threw, and that shit was sick. Like I was like, dang, like it came out really, really good. There was a lot of people. I don't know if y'all know where the old Walters was. Have y'all ever been to Walters?
Nah, where's that at?
Okay, it was like a venue. Honestly, I don't even know where that hell was. I think by U of H.
Okay, by U of H.
My directions is bad. I'm just like, I need to Google.
U of H area. U of H.
Yeah. So yeah, I did a show over there, and that was sick. And then they hit me up, and they were like, "Hey, like, we want to do some virtual shit." And I was like, "Bet." So yeah, it was fun. It was really nice the way it turned out. Like it exceeded my expectations, and especially for that being their first one doing that, I was like, "Y'all did the damn thing!" Like that shit.
Oh yeah. No, it looks fantastic. Like,
yeah.
Everybody definitely take a look at that. That's Lilly Aviana, decade 20. Not 4 decades ago. It came out 4 days ago. But decade 2020. So I mean, I'm assuming that was. I mean, of course they're going virtual for everything that's happening right now with the pandemic and stuff like that. How is it as an artist, especially an artist that can perform live and performs live really well? Like, how is this affecting things for you right now?
Surprisingly, it's been a little bit like it's allowed me to slow down. You know what I mean? I don't want to say it's like a blessing because obviously like this pandemic was a fucking disaster and thousands of lives have been lost, you know what I mean? And fuck that. But honestly, as an artist, like it really allowed me to take time to work on my craft and like work on the projects that I'm working on right now and stuff like that. So it's been it's been pretty nice. But I mean, yeah, I do miss performing and I miss, being in the scene and stuff. But I don't know, like I also felt like it was I had a good run in Houston, so that's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it affected me a little bit in the beginning, but after a while, I was chilling. You know what I mean? It was like you kind of just learn to adapt as an artist, and I mean, we all learn to adapt, especially the way technology is set up these days. It's so easy to access everything just through your phone. So, you know, if people really want to see you sing, they go pick up the phone. They always on their hoe anyway. So,
Sure.
Absolutely.
That's how we're doing this podcast. On the phone.
I was about to say, because for about 3 weeks we were like, yeah, we'll just take a break, and then he was like, all right, we should start recording again. We just got to figure out a way, and luckily everybody's used to video calling, so
thank God.
Boom, there we go. Although once we are back, we got to have you like in our studio with you know cameras and lights and where we can show your videos and stuff like that. You know, that kind of stuff. But okay, so like for people that are interested in seeing you and all that other kind of stuff, where can people find all of your information, like all your contact stuff?
I mean, just hit me up on Instagram, Twitter. You know, it's Lilly Aviana. It's LILLYAVIANA. And then like through there, I have like a little link tree thing, and you can like access, you know, my website where you can access my music. You can find, you know, organizations that, you know, I support that you can donate to, like, you know, like Black Lives Matter, so organizations, the organizations that help the immigrants, and, you know, trans and things like that. So yeah, go check it out. So there's a lot of information on there.
Absolutely. I just want to, and you know what? I would also say you're very vocal about a lot of these, like Black Lives Matter, immigration issues. I mean, how important is that as an artist, making sure people know your stances on a lot of these social issues?
I mean, honestly, it's not even the fact that like I'm an artist. It's just the humane thing to do. You know, like these people are suffering. Like it's just not right.
Absolutely.
I'm all emotional today. What the fuck is wrong with me?
I mean, you wear your heart on your sleeve.
I'm all crying, but no, like for real, it's just like the humane thing to do. You have, and especially having a platform, you know what I mean? It's only right for me to try to educate people the best way that I can, because there's a lot of people who are misinformed or uninformed, and you know, or maybe they don't, you know, have a following, or like they don't follow that many people who talk about these, you know, these things and stuff like that. So, you know, if I can reach 4,000 people, you know, and eventually millions of people, and, you know, letting people know about these things, and I mean, that's the only thing that we can do as just people. Because I mean, I always say this, it would be a disservice to our community if we didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, and especially for the community that supports me and like that, you know, comes to my shows and stuff. Like, if I'm not giving back to y'all, like, what's the point?
Absolutely. No. It's a great attitude to have. Look, we appreciate you coming on. We weren't trying to make you cry.
It's not even y'all. It's just because like my whole life has just changed today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like,
No. It's very big.
Y'all catching me at a very emotional time.
No. It's very big. Like, again, congratulations on the signing. We're expecting to see a lot of big things from you, because, you know, you've got the talent. It's nice that you're with some managers that like, yo, we can start pushing you and getting more stuff out there. Because, you know, for a lot of people, that's what they need. Like, it's like, yo, I got everything. I'm ready to go. I just, you know, I just need some help with it.
Yeah, and I hope it really inspires people to like keep going out there and keep pushing for your shit. Like, don't let people try to run you. Don't let people try to tell you nothing. Like, keep working on your craft. Keep doing your thing. Stay in your lane. Don't try to be like nobody. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Be kind. Be good. And then you good, baby. That's it. That's all you need.
Yes, because we appreciate the emotion. Look, we follow you on Twitter. We see, like, sometimes you'll be mad and be like, I'm done. And the next day it's like, all right, I'm back. Like,
it's just a human thing, you know.
Exactly.
Y'all have these days, and it's okay to be transparent. You know what I'm saying? Because it just shows how human people are. That's okay. We just be going through it. Everybody just be going through it all the time.
Yeah, and it's honest. It's honest, and it comes across in the music. Yeah. It definitely comes across in the music because that's what people want to hear.
Thank you.
That's what makes it so positive and makes you so real as well. Of just seeing you, especially when you were talking to somebody about when they're like, "Oh, you got signed today," and somebody was like, "Yeah, read the contract," and you're like, "I've been doing this for months, dude. Like, I'm this deal.
Like,
you didn't read the contract,
yeah. I understand. Trust me, baby. I understand you looking out for me, baby. But it's just like, but like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Just be happy. Can we just be happy?
That's what we like. That person you have, it's amazing. You funny as hell.
Yeah. Because you get where it comes from, where it's like, yeah, you're like, yo, this is not making the band and Diddy. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I'm not taking no shots at Diddy. No. This podcast does not take shots at Diddy. No. Diddy, if you're listening, we love Revolt. I watch Revolt every week. I don't. But I would watch Revolt if you put us on it, Diddy. But yes, I like the fact, you know where it was coming from, where it's like, oh, and that's where you felt like it's like, nah, this is a singer I like. Don't you sign no bad contract. And I'm like, that she's been talking about it for a while. I think somebody read it.
Baby, I've been dissected that thing. Yeah. We good, baby. We good.
You got a $500 an hour lawyer for $50. She knows what she's doing.
You know what I'm saying, baby? That's it. Period. God said, here you go, baby. I'm going to help you out. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. And that pit was beautiful. I love dogs, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I really want to thank you. Thank you so much for coming out for In My Humble Opinion podcast. It's always a good day. I'm Avery, like a very nice guy, with my brother, Jess Devine, and we've had with us our guest, Lilly Aviana. You can find her everywhere, and it's a great day for her because she just got signed today. Proving that if you just stick with your stuff, you'll get it in the end.
Period. That's it.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.